Good afternoon, everybody on YouTube. This is Rick Thomas from Obsolete Video Services. Hey guys, we just got done doing a kind of a major repair on a unit that I got from a customer named Mark. Last name is Thomas. He sent me a Datavideo Tbc, and I keep telling people these things are garbage. They really are. I do not recommend these time-based correctors as far as you can throw them. These are made in China, and they are junk. But when they're working, they're not bad, but they do fail. They do have a lot of issues. Anyways, inside this thing, there's a processing chip. I happen to have another one on hand from a previous repair I did on one of these a while back. And the processing chips on these things burn out. And when they burn out, you get what's called no video output. You do your input and you got no video coming out of them, and it's just black. And it's generally the reason because you have a processor in here that shorts out because of some previous video wiring problem. Either you used crappy video cables or you connected them wrong at a certain period of time, and that would back up and it would short into that processor. The processor would get hot, it would short out, and you would get black video on your screen and no video at all. So you do need to know how to hook these things up, guys. Time-based correctors are very, very sensitive. You could blow them out. You could burn them up real quick, especially the processing processor on the inside. It relies heavily on the signals coming in and coming out of these TBCs. If you connect them wrong at any point, you could short out the actual IC processor inside, and you could short out the entire board. In general situations on these TBCs for Datavideo, it's the capacitors are all garbage on them. This is made in China. I had a hell of a time getting parts for one I worked on previously for a guy. I did order 2 of each, so thank God I did. This particular customer just came to me. His name is Mark Thomas, and he told me he has nothing but black video. And yeah, the reason is the IC inside this unit was shorted out. I suspect it's because he hooked up the cables wrong at some point, and he fried out the processor on the inside. And I noticed it too before I actually swapped out the processor. It was the same situation on a unit I had not too long ago. I had to replace some capacitors, which Mark told me were okay. He had them checked out. So I just jumped immediately to the processor, changed it out, and we were able to fix this TBC. And when you get black video out of a TBC, you want to double check your cables. You do not want to use cheap ass cables to start. That's a big problem. And second of all, you want to make sure you got them hooked up properly. And then if you're still getting black video, then you most likely either at some point the processor shorted out or you got bad capacitors or both. So anyways, this is a repair I did for Mark Thomas, and I thought I'd make a video on this. I immediately went in. Took me about half hour. I wanted to jump on this. He did call me. He was trying to find out what the overview was, if I even got to work on this yet or not. So I just thought before I get this customer job this morning, I would work on this, and pretty much I knew what the problem was. He gave me some descriptions of he had it checked out, and he said the capacitors were all good. So in general, the capacitors and the IC go bad in these things. These things are made in China. These things are junk, guys. Seriously, don't buy these. You're wasting your money. But anyways, his unit had a bad IC. The capacitors, I double-checked those as well. The IC was shorted out due to the fact it wasn't connected up right at some point. They had it in the opposite direction of some sort. You will fry out that IC real quick, or cheap cables were used at some point. A number of things will actually cause these time-based correctors to burn out, especially the ICs on the inside. So I changed out the IC, and as I suspected, I thank God I had an extra IC that I got from China from a repair I did not too long ago, and the video automatically came up. Now, here's what you want to check. All right, this is just check all 4 outputs, okay? So the first output's going to be this one, and we got video. Second output's going to be this one, and we got video. Third output's going to be this one, and we got video. And the last one's going to be this. That means the processor works on all 4 outputs on this thing. And of course, you got the video input going on the input of this thing. I got it coming out of a DVD player. We're running color bars going on the in and then the out of this TBC to the TV. So that shows you that all 4 outputs are working. The input in the front is working. That means the processor is working. Now it's working. The processor on this thing was shorted out. The capacitors were good. He did have some technician look at this and they checked the capacitors, but 9 times out of 10, guys, it isn't an easy fix. I did have the parts. It is from China, and I did repair one of these about a year ago, and thank God I ordered 2 of each so I could have a few extra parts in case this ever happened again. And sure enough, I got a call for the very same time-based corrector with the very same problem. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video.